Hey everyone, welcome back for another Friday leak for Godforge. This week we got a Egyptian inspired leak. Horus is how I believe you say that. I don't know if this is a render. I don't think this is in-game. We'll see some in-game stuff later, but I believe this is just concept art, but it looks pretty good. I'm not going to go into the background of Horus as much as I did the other leaks because there's some pretty horrific stuff as far as Egyptian lore goes. I mean, reading through some of the stories about Horus, the Egyptian stuff makes the Romans look like schoolboys. Let's just say that, okay? Let's just say there's some pretty brutal stuff you can read about, and if you want to, go take a look at that. But what I found is there's kind of two different versions of Horus. Well, there's more than that, but there's two main ones. There's kind of what people refer to, I think, as old man Horus or old Horus and young Horus. Old meaning he is part of the kind of group of original Egyptian gods. They call it a group of nine, and he's the 10th, where he's the sibling of them. And then there's one where he's young Horus, where he's and then for young Horus, he is the child of Osiris and Isis instead of being their siblings. Yes, you heard that correct. His parents are siblings according to the Egyptian lore, but so he's either their sibling or their child. So he is the god of the sun and the sky. His eyes are often depicted as the sun and the moon. He's also the god of healing and protection and the god of kingship. He was at one point essentially king of the gods. He had to battle his uncle Set, or brother in some cases, although when it is his brother, it's depicted as being accomplished more amicably than when he is his nephew, I guess, where they essentially try to one up each other to prove who should be king, but the feats they're doing to one up each other are pretty horrific. Anyways, so yeah, I'm assuming they're gonna go more for the sun and the moon or sun in the sky vibe for him, because that kind of makes sense as far as a background for powers. Healing and protection could also work, but based on this aesthetic, I don't think they're gonna do that. Uh, I do have some kind of skill prediction type things or skill guesses that I'll talk about when we show some animations later. Obviously, he's a bird or depicted as a falcon. Same thing here with this staff. Pretty detailed. I really like this look. Let's check out the next one. So yeah, there's a statue of him in his depiction here. Oh, I didn't see that before in the other one. Let's see if that's back there. Oh, no talons there. So maybe that was a earlier. Oh yeah, because they're drawing over it. You can see. Okay, so they're gonna probably add that. Yeah, you can see it there. The talons. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And this, I don't know what that is. Is that tattooing maybe? Huh, interesting. Or sort of power flowing through him. You can kind of see it in his arms too. Doesn't really look like symbols, so it could just be. I mean, this does right here. These like lighter white marks. That kind of looks like a scarab almost, just typical of Egyptian lore. But then this is, I don't know what this is, kind of just power flowing through them or something. Almost where veins would be, possibly. Well, not here, but here in the arms. Headdress, that looks the same, so I didn't really change that. You know, right there, glowing, makes you think the sun, like I was saying, god of the sun in the sky. Left Wadaji eye reference, Eye of Horus. I don't know if that's how you say that. Okay, from what I just looked up, it's Wajet, but left eye. So where the lore of Horus's eye comes from is in one of those battles where he's fighting his uncle Set, he loses his eye. So that's where this comes from. Uh, Only kept one wing just to save space. Okay, we still have two. Okay. That looks a little bit different, a little bit more gold than before. Let's see what this is too. Oh, just reference to the wings. But again, that looks kind of like, I know it's his wings, but that looks kind of like a scarab in the middle. Again, right? But then there's the legs, I guess. Okay. Oh, I didn't notice here is gauntlets. Okay. Yeah, all this looks more gold than the first. Maybe not a ton. A little more. Okay. Okay, so here's some type of render of the staff without coloring. It's hard to tell, but beak right there, the eye, the head, and then that's obviously the blade. Or is it sharp? I can't tell. I guess we'll have to see when it's rendered if this looks like it looks like this is the blade. Let's see if it's yeah, I don't think that's a blade because you can see symbols there. I don't know. It might be a blade, it might not. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Oh, here we go. I don't think that's a blade or that. I could be wrong. Let me know what you guys think down below, but I don't think that's a blade. I think this is just an ornate staff, it's just being decorated. He's at one point, sort of king of the gods, so it makes sense he would have this great staff. He's not gonna have some piddly little thing that doesn't impress people. Okay, here we see some renders that will be used in game. I'm liking the wings there. Maybe we'll pause it on the way back. Uh, that's gonna keep popping up just because it's looping the video. Let me pause it here, right at the end. See the scarab right there, right? Looks kind of similar to what's on his stomach. The lighter marks, not the sort of golden ones that are, like I said, I don't know what that is. Almost looks like barbed wire in a way. That's the color of sun. So is that coming out of him or containing him? Can't really tell, but scarab there. Let's go back. Take a look at these wings. Blue and red. Okay, very indicative of a bird. I don't know necessarily falcon. I think of red when I think of a falcon, but I don't know a lot of falcons that are blue, but I could be wrong. Okay, let's check out the next one. Okay, so here's an animation. First we see it straight on and then they kind of change the angles. It's the same thing. But you see he kind of goes up, puts the staff up above him. I have a couple ideas. Him being the god of sun in the sky. First is he summons some type of sun that can disorient or confuse targets, so a control type mechanic there. He could also kind of summon a sun and then I don't know, he doesn't really throw it, but he could still do damage. Kind of thinking, Goku Dragon Ball Z Spirit Bomb type look, but it's a sun instead. Maybe once he summons it, it just starts traveling down. Maybe it just sort of explodes and causes damage, radiates out. Not sure, that's a possibility. So a sun that either kind of blinds opponents or explodes, causes damage. Two, I was thinking he could summon a sun and a moon because his eyes are depicted as the sun and the moon sometimes. And then they sort of rotate on a central axis that would be at the point of his weapon around the top. That could be some type of either speed up mechanic, like it gives him and the people on his team, turn meter boost, or it could reduce turn meter on the opponent's team, some type of it's indicating a changing of time, if you think about the old comics when Superman flew around the world and he reversed the rotation, so he went back in time, which wouldn't actually work if you could do it, but think of that in terms of the sun and the moon rotating up there just to indicate some type of time manipulation, which would affect turn meters, in my opinion. Okay, let's check out the next one. So that's obviously a direct attack single target. I'm envisioning when he does it in game, when they finish it, there'll be some type of fire type effect almost. Think kind of in movies like Armageddon and other space venturing movies when they enter a planet and they break the atmosphere. It's not necessarily straight up fire. I mean, it is fire, but it doesn't look like traditional fire like log burning, It's kind of whooshing past them. So something sort of like that as he dives down towards his opponent. So yeah, just a direct single target attack. All right, and our last, also a physical attack. That could be multiple opponents. But see, he is striking like it's a blade there. Although I guess if it was just a big hunk of metal, even if it wasn't sharp, that's going to hurt, right? You could still use it almost like a hammer. I guess we'll have to see what it looks like in game. It is kind of a slash, so I assume they're acting as if it's a blade, but that could be a multiple, you know, enemy attack or a single, hard to tell. So yeah, I'm digging Harvey Birdman. Looks really great. So if you think of him compared to Anubis, this is maybe one of the best looking factions so far. Although I'm still anticipating Merlin looking great. He's still my favorite. Um, Anubis moved to my second favorite when I saw Merlin. I'm digging this, you know. I always liked the sort of half animal, half human stuff in games like this. You know, kind of similar to Skinwalkers and Raid, but not as ghoulish, I would say. Happy Halloween as well, Daylight, but just more of an anthropomorphized animal combined with the human. So I don't know. Still Merlin, my favorite, then Anubis, then maybe him, then Arthur for so far as looks. But thanks for watching. Let me know down below what you think. And do you think his weapon is going to be an actual axe? Is that what that is? Or just a staff that kind of has a half wing on the top to symbolize, you know, him being a falcon? Anyways, see you next time. Bye.